So in the previous video, we saw that till 25th question. So we'll start with this 26th question. And the logic behind this 26th question was explained to me by one of my student Lakshman and one of his roommate who was there, and both of them explained how they solved this question. That is what I was trying to say, that many actually thought whether it is possible to apply all these logics inside the examination hall and solve these questions. What I am trying to say is that if we have to clear the cutoff, the only way to do that is apply logic and clear this exam. Preliminary exam is not a factual exam. You cannot just mug up facts and you cannot go there and you cannot write all these things. It's a very logical thing which you have to apply your rationality to clear. And I also would take this opportunity to wish Lakshman, he is going for interview this time. I am very sure that he will clear interview this time. And one more person, Sam, he's also going for interview, and I think both of them very soon, in 2-3 months, both of them are going to clear this exam, and I wish them all the best. With that, I will go to this question. For example, what Lakshman, for example, explained to me that day was, see, with reference to the book Deshar Katha, see, the point is that I have been studying for 10 years, 10 to 11 years since the time 2009. I swear I have not heard this book. I have not heard this book, Deshar Katha, no. But I know a little bit of Hindi. I know that Katha is story. So Deshar, Desh is country. I know a little bit of Hindi. So that is why I am explaining. Desh means country, Katha means story. Something related to the story of country. Written by Shakaram Ganesh Duskar. During the freedom struggle. This is the information we have. I have no idea of what this person is, or what how the question was asked, but I will go to the top. That is what logic we have to apply is that I will go to the information which is given. It was it warned against colonial hypnotic conquest of mind. It's possible. See, during the freedom struggle, many people had different versions of how to go about treating the colonial state. Different people had different ideas. It is possible that one is true. Okay, it could have inspired. I am not sure about that also, but it could have definitely did that. Third point is, this is the point. See, the use of Desh by Dushkar was in specific context of region of Bengal. See, this is where the point the logic what Lakshman explained to me. See, this name Shakaram Ganesh Duskar. This name does not pertain to the region of Bengal. I have not, for example, all these years I have not heard any name which is pronounced anywhere related to Shakaram Ganesh Duskar near Bengal. So so if you ask me where it could be, I would say somewhere around Maharashtra, somewhere around Maharashtra. So I would actually remove this. That is, 3 is wrong. See, come to the answer now. If you remove 3, see this, remove 3, all the answers goes away. See, this is the point. So you need not know what is Desh Katha or Deshar Katha. You have to apply logic. Do not get panicked inside the examination hall. Actually, answer is A. So this is how you apply logic to clear this exam. Panicking inside the examination hall is not going to help anyone. You have to have a the presence of mind. On the spot, yo signo. And this was not my idea. This was his idea, and it is a very nice thing to actually solve, and the answer is correct. So we'll go to the next point. So again, Gandhi-Irwin Pact. See, history. It's a very simple thing. History. Gandhi-Irwin Pact. Whether what are the following included? Invitation. Yes. But how do you solve this logically? See, acceptance of Gandhiji's suggestion that inquiry into police excesses. See, this is the point you should understand. They would, whether Britishers would ever accept their problems or any police action, no. In history you would have You would have studied Gandhi Irwin Pact, okay. But think about logically whether Britishers would accept any of their police excesses. Even in Amritsar, what they did not even have any remorse for the Jallianwala Bagh massacre or something. But whether they would have this what is that, inquiry into police excesses? No. So remove this three. See this three would be removed, these two would be removed, and if you see the answer, it would definitely come to B. So it's a very logical question. I would not say it is an easy question, but use logic to solve all these things. So answer is B. So very simple history answer, logic would definitely do. And Vital with Vidwan Sak. This logic also was explained to me by Lakshman and his roommate. Actually, they have applied that when they wrote this prelims. It's a very nice logic. What he said was very interesting. See, Vital Vidwan Sak, but he read all the points. First monthly, this is the point. First monthly, this is the key word. First monthly, to have untouchable people as target audience. So first monthly means it would have been in an earlier phase itself. From here, Dr. Ambedkar, Bhimravji Ambedkar was the youngest of them. If you see the names which have been listed, I know Jyotiba Phule, Mahatma Gandhi, Ambedkar. So Ambedkar was the most youngest. Gopal Baba Walankar, I am not sure of the name, but first monthly, so it should have been somebody earlier than Dr. Ambedkar or Gandhiji. So I would actually prefer Jyotiba Phule. If I had been inside the examination hall, I would have chosen B only. But you should know that the answer, though, so the answer is different, which is A. Actually, this is what. So you should not worry about making mistakes. See, we have to take chances. I would go for B, but I would not think about what is Vidwan Sak, which book they are. I would use the logic. First monthly journal, somebody would be an earlier version or a senior, somebody who is senior. So I would pick Jyotiba Phule, but see, answer is A. See, this is how you solve these questions. So okay, so if I had solved, I would have picked B, but it's a wrong answer. A is the answer. Next, Kulyavapa and Dronavapa. Everyone, see, again, do not think immediately about, do not worry about what are these things. See, in history, go back in history and think about it. Coins, when you read, it would be something like Tanka. Or some name which did not sound like this. Religious rituals, definitely you would not have heard. I have never heard some Kulyavapa or Dronavapa or something like that for religious rituals. And for coins, I've always heard, or I've always read Tanka. This is why I said that writing tests is not going to help you. Reading NCERT, you have to finish those NCERT. Do not outsource your hard work to some institute, or do not outsource your hard work to some other person. You have to get your hands dirty in prelims. You have to do the basic things in order to clear. So the answer, for example, see, I will narrow it down to these two: classification of urban land, measurement of land. See, again, next stage of logic I will apply. In the history there was very less urban land, more rural land. So in the classification of urban land, it would not have been very, in the sense that it would not have been very useful to have so many terms, because urban land itself would have been very less. So what is the overarching umbrella that these two terms could have gotten means it would have been measurement of land. So this is the answer. This is how I would have picked the answer if I had written. See, don't worry about whether you are making mistakes. See, previous question I made a mistake. Do not worry about that. Mistakes are definitely going to happen. When you try something very tough as prelims, UPSC prelims, you are bound to make mistakes. Do your mistakes, learn from it, and move on. That is what you have to learn from this. So next. So see, this is the very simplest of the simplest question. If we have to clear, we have to know this. Whoever praises his religious sect, see, this is the point. Following rulers advised his subject. So advised his subject is the first point through his inscription. So it is talking about secularism in India. So the first person to talk about secularism in India among the names which have been given, everyone knows Ashoka, through the Ashoka pillars. This is an answer which you should have definitely gotten, and very easy one too. The next question. And again, see this again, this type of question, paramitas. What do you make out of all this? So there were officers like Dhamma, or some, see the paramitas, description of the term paramita, someone, the earliest Dharma Shastra text, I am not sure of. The philosophical schools, no, did not accept the authority of that did not do. There was so many Mimasa, Vedanta, some other, many other things were there. I have not heard about paramitas. Powerful merchant guilds, it is possible, but the answer is C. See, the point is perfection whose attainment led to bodhisattva path. Actually, paramitas, so see, as I explained, Dhamma, it is somewhere related to Buddhism only. Buddhism words actually relate to these kinds of things. And if we had narrowed it down to the guilds and the bodhisattva, I would have picked C. So this is how you solve this question. Next, see this question. This is also Rakhmabai case, 1884. Again, from 2000. From 2009. I have been studying history, and I would show you someday my history spectrum book. I have not, or I have, maybe I have seen this case, but I did not concentrate on this case, and that is how it works. So reading for 10 years also, it's not going to help you, but apply some logic. See, what is the logic in this? Rakhmabai case of, that is what they are saying, is that in Indian history, they are talking about a case which happened. That is something which had happened in the court. Something which have happened in the court in 1884. Whether it would have revolved around women's right to gain education, that is whether, see, Britishers had come to India and they had given education for all. And you should know that a women's education was stopped by social forces, not political forces. That is, British did not stop. It was stopped by Indian society. So any case which would have gone to the courts would not have arisen because of women's right to education, but rather the point was that the age of consent and conjugal rights. Conjugal rights means marriage rights. So this was the case. And one other logic. So for example, this is what I would have done. I would have removed 1. So what is left is only one option, B. The logic is that what I am trying to say, Rakhmabai case in 1884 cannot have or could not have been related to women's right to gain education, because Jyotiba Phule already started somewhere around 1850 itself, 1850 to 1860 itself. Schools for girls were started by Jyotiba Phule. And Rakhmabai supposed to be the name, again the name sounds somewhere around Gujarat and Maharashtra. So in a place where already education has started for girls, why there would have been a case for right to education? So it would not, so logically you should remove that. So answer is B. So this is how you solve this question. Next question. So in indigo cultivation in India, beginning of the 20th century, why it declined? Again profitability in the world, because okay, national leaders opposition, no, this was not the case. It's B. So you should know that it's unprofitability. That is indigo, the synthetic dyes, that is indigo was something which they made, but synthetic dyes started to happen. Chemical revolution started to happen in Germany. Many industrialization started going to France, Germany and many other countries, and they started making synthetic dyes. And when one synthetic dye started, the profitability of indigo cultivation went down, and because of that it actually declined. So answer is B. So this is also a very, see, it's a very simple question in history which you should know. And next, Fort William College at Calcutta, why it was started? Wellesley, why it was started? Why some college is started? You should know that he wanted to provide William. I have never ever heard such a statement in my entire 10 years of preparation or 12 years of preparation. No. He wanted to revive, I have heard something like Asian Oriental, and it was started in 1717, 70 itself, something. It was something about this. So this is not true. And between these two, see, he wanted to train British civilian to administrative. So for IAS exam, so same way you are studying, he wanted to create IAS officers, and for that this was created. So D is the answer. So see, this is how you should decipher inside the examination. All, you will not have Google and all. You have to use your rationality to devise answer from whatever has been given. And 35, Ulgulan or Great Tumult. See, again, using the logic, I have not heard something related to Ulgulan. Is something of a folk language. See, it's a folk Ulgulan, or it's kind of a folk language. It's not, you see it in everyday usage. No, I have not heard. Maybe if you had heard, no, see, that is what I will now. I will use my own things to solve the questions, logic. So I have not heard in this case. It's an all India kind of thing, so it will not be there. In Kerala, this is Mapilla rebellion. Kerala, Ulgulan word I have not connected. Maybe Indigo or Munda. And in this, the folk tradition, Birsa Munda, this is where something of a folk. Indigo is not. Indigo is also a farmer-based, urban or rural farmer-based movement. But Birsa Munda is a tribal movement and folk. That is what this word you can so relate the word to which movement it can actually occupy. Answer is D. So the logic, for 34 it is D, and for 35 also it is D. But 35 is not an easy question. It's a very tough question, but we have to take our chances. Again, see, again this with reference to scholars in ancient India. And this question I am not sure, so I will actually leave this question, because in this question I know Panini, okay, and Shunga is somewhere around AD, okay, somewhere around AD, I think, Shunga dynasty. Pushyamitra, see, I do not know. Maybe I have read all the ancient India, but it is not. See, that is what the students keep asking, how to remember all the names. It's not possible. 10 years you read, 20 years you read. It's not possible to remember every name in history book. But you can remember the logic. How did I remember the logic? Panini, somewhere around BC. Panini was the grammarian of Sanskrit. So somewhere in the BC, that is earlier times. So it is not. So Pushyamitra Shunga, that is Shunga is in AD. This is not connected. Associated, definitely it is not connected. So this is wrong. So I will actually remove these two. So answer actually revolves around these two, B or C. But I have to go through history before going to the prelims to solve this question. So I have not gone through history, ancient India very deeply. Before going to the prelims, I will definitely do that. Maybe in that I will find the between B and C I will make a choice, because I have to see whether Amara Simha is in Harshavardhana. So it's a very tough question. So 36, you have to make a pick. And answer for 36 is C. Okay, C. 2 is also wrong. Only 3 is correct. And pro-nuclear technology transfer, it's a tough technology related question. It's a very tough technology related question, or I was not able to make sense of it. But the answer is D. Okay, it was a little tough. It's not an easy question, so it was tough for me. So pro-nuclear transfer, in the case of mitochondrial diseases, they actually transfer, and they have a thing. See, again, that is the point. Instead of worrying about what is this pro-nuclear transfer, artificial intelligence can effectively do the following. If you see what artificial intelligence cannot do, you should think in that line. What an artificial intelligence in the world today cannot do. It can do literally everything. It can write poems, it can write stories, it can write, for example, it can map your mind, it can do anything in this world. If it is possible to do anything in this world, What is missing in this? Everything is there. See, bring down electricity, yes, it can do. Meaningful, that is what I said. It can write stories actually. It can write stories. For example, it can write stories and songs specific to you, according to your likes and dislikes. For example, in Facebook, whatever you do, likes and dislikes, according to that, the artificial intelligence program and algorithms can gather information about you as a person, and they can make stories and songs specific to you. So this is what this is, definitely text everything. This is the point. D. So instead of worrying about whether a tough question pro nuclear transfer is there, there is an easy question where easily we can take this question and we can put it out. Visible light communication. Again, in this question I got a little confused. For example, visible light communication, I went directly to here. No because see something, when a communication is happening, see, you don't have to go into the basic physics book and break your head and all. Think about in a very logical fashion. When there is a communication, I thought electromagnetic interference definitely would be there. So no means I removed all these things, and I chose A while solving this question paper. But UPSC has now become a little ahead, so be careful in what you are doing. Have a understanding of all the four. I actually did not read the three answers and I went directly here. This is what this blanket of if there is no and all, choose that as the wrong. Something people keep saying, if there is a no interference, all means these blanket statements usually will be wrong. No, UPSC has changed. UPSC has now become a very logical thing. Read other options also. See, in this option, if you see visible light communication, it is nothing but, see, this is nothing but in a room. If it is a LED bulb, what does that mean? It can communicate within the room. This is the point. The light cannot travel outside the room. So long range, no. It's a short range. This is the wrong. 2 is wrong. If you remove 2, actually this goes away. C is the answer. See, this is the point. Use logic and no, do not go for these no electromagnet. I went for that only. That is the point. As humans, we tend to go for things which are very easier to our mind. So do the hard work of reading the other statements as well. For 39, it is C. Okay. And for blockchain technology, it's a very it is coming in paper every day. See, what is blockchain? Earlier there would be a computer, there would be a ledger. Anything you would enter in that ledger would be through this. So if, for example, anyone has to make a change, that person has to come here and has to ask and change. This is the way it was. So now what is happening through this blockchain technology is that they can access like this. Everyone or anyone, or in the sense that anyone who is designated or accepted can access this ledger or data, whatever is there. They can make changes, so that it becomes a democratization of these sources. This is the point of blockchain technology, which is going to be useful for a very large number of things. And structure, see this second statement, design all data is it in it are about cryptocurrency only. See, that is what I said. When I was explaining about data ledger being used or designed by the different laptops or different people in different corners of the world for different purposes, not cryptocurrency only purpose. So this is wrong. Two options are gone, and you should know depend on basic can be deployed without anybody's permission only. Yes, it's an open source software, so D is the answer. Blockchain is an open source software. It's a very normal thing. It comes in paper every day. And according to carbon nanotubes, see, it's a carbon nanotubes means small, nano means 10 to the power minus 9. So this is nano, basic science. Carrier for drugs, yes, it is used for cancer and many other things for carrying drugs. Capillaries, yes, it's capillaries. If you see, it's a very small thing in your body. not the veins and the arteries. It's the capillaries, the next part. It's a very small thing, carbon nanotubes, because in accidents sometimes when the hand gets cut or some other part gets cut, the capillaries in that area is the last final part of connection. It becomes very difficult for scientists or doctors to get it connected. In that, this carbon nanotube technology is being used. Yes, sensors it is used. I actually, so I will make a confession. I knew this only. I did not know whether it was biodegradable. See, biodegradable means when you throw it away, whether it degrades into atmosphere or not, or environment or not. It should be biologically degraded. That is, plastics cannot be degraded that way. I had a doubt whether carbon nanotubes, which are created by humans for all these purposes, can be degraded in that way. When you throw, whether it would go into the water table, I thought like that. Okay, when I was solving this question, I thought like that, and I thought this would not come. But then I again went and checked the answer. There is no 1, 2, 3. See, again, this is the point. There is no 1, 2, 3, so I chose 1, 2, 3, 4. So only one option. This is the logic which I am trying to say. You need not know everything in this world to clear this exam. It's a simple logical exam which you should do. D is the answer. Again, next. And what is this? Drones are used for. This is the most simplest of questions. See, when you have a drone, you can use it for anything, for any purpose you can use. Pesticides, yes. For corona prevention, drones were used. Inspecting, definitely anything from the top what you are doing, yes, it can be done. Collecting breath samples of sprouting whales, yes. Actually, I have seen whales sprouting that water. So there are, I have seen some YouTube things. I do not know how whales operate, but YouTube things actually they sprout that water outside. Definitely, when there is a sprouting of water outside, you can have the DNA analysis samples being taken. So it's 1, 2, 3. There is no point in even thinking about any other option rather than to choose D. It's a very simple question, direct question. And see, this question I do not have an idea. This is a current affairs question or something. I have no idea. I will in the previous video I have left 2 questions. This also I will leave. And see, again, genetic changes can be introduced in the cells that produce cell. Definitely gene editing. There is a technology called as CRISPR or molecular scissors. It's called CRISPR, has been asked in prelims for 3 times, 4 times. What is molecular scissors? With that you can do anything, you can cut anything, and a person's genome can be edited. Yes, future, that is what designer babies, they keep talking about designer babies. Now it is possible, now it is actually possible. So future is very, it's a very so future la Padi Kohli, Padi Dhoni, Padi Usain Bolt, whatever way you want to design your baby, I think it will be possible. So again, see, this 2 I was sure. Third, I was not sure. Human induced pluripotent stem cells, that is cells turning into any cell. So what pluripotent stem cells means is that with that cell you can actually transform it to any part of your body, muscles, nerves, whatever cell you want you can make. That is the meaning. But whether 3 comes, I did not know. Human induced, whether it can be, see, human induced stem cells, whether it can transform into muscles, nerve cells, everything, true. But whether it can be imbibed into a embryo of a pig, that's a different species. Whether it was true, it's a tough thing. I did not know this. But again, see, again logic. 1, 2, I searched for 1, 2. There is no 1, 2 in this option. Edhiliyume 1, 2 illa. There is only 1, 2, 3. So D is the option. So even I did not see, adan solren, I did not know this. Even if you do not know, there is no point in wasting your time in thinking about things you do not know. Think with what you know and you can solve this. Again, see this pneumococcal conjugate vaccine. Again, come here, no side effects, no allergic reaction, direct bullseye. All the, see, in corona you would have known, every vaccine, every tablet, whatever you eat, whatever you do has a side effect. There is nothing called as no side effect vaccine. That is the problem with vaccine hesitancy in corona also. 3 is wrong, so remove this 3. This 2 goes. 1 and 2. Definitely when you are giving vaccine, you become resistant to some bacteria, and you don't have to use any antibiotics as such. When you reduce antibiotics because of the vaccine you are putting, obviously antibiotic resistance or drug resistant bacteria number will come down. That is the point 2. So this is true. That is what logic. No side effects. How can any vaccine, whatever, I have not even read pneumono, what is, I did not read that. Vaccine has side effects. All of them. Simple as that, you have to understand. Public key infrastructure. See, in India, in the context, it used in the recent context, food security infrastructure, health care, telecommunication, இதெல்லாம் from 1960s itself, all these were important infrastructure, key infrastructure in 1960s itself. This 1990s itself, all these became key infrastructure in different parts of the time across India's time space. What is becoming prominent right now, இப்போ பாத்தீங்கன்னா, now what is the issue which is being digital security infrastructure, cyber security. This is how you solve. See, the public key infrastructure, எந்த பேப்பர்ல, எந்த current affairs notesல, where, who will give you this answer, or either thedi how. See, this is what, when institutes give so many materials, you go in a random goose chase. Either when you keep chasing this question, you will lose questions where you can really score. So in the question la paathu, institute will have so many material, hundreds of pages, 200s of pages. You have a very limited time. Understand that your time is very precious. Use it for you to clear this exam, not for promoting some institute material, some institute current affairs. No, don't do that. Adu avanga pannipanga. Okay, that is not your job. And this question was a tough question. So even having a biology background, I am not sure of this question. I'm not going to use that. Again, benzene pollution. Benzene pollution, you should know. See, somewhere in 12th standard, I remember this structure. 12th standard la solli kodutanga. Benzene is one ring like structure. I swear I did not look into any answer. Whatever I learned in 12th standard, I am remembering that, and I am telling you this. If the structure wrong arnda, I am very sorry, because 12th standard I remember my teacher in chemistry, he taught me this benzene structure, and he used to say it has a very nice smell, aroma. That is what, and the benzene ring. Okay? And so whatever benzene exposure to whatever it is there in it, they are asking. Automobile benzene ring is carbon, nothing, it's carbon actually, carbon ring, basic carbon irukku. So automobile exhaust, definitely carbon should be there. That is what it refers, automobile exhaust. Tobacco smoke, everything is there. Okay, every nonsense, all harmful and all worthless thing comes from this tobacco smoke. Anybody in prelims who is actually making you smoke, or if they tell you that smoking actually helps in clearing prelims, they are absolutely lying. Smoking actually kills you. Yeah, it will definitely not make you aware, it will not make you vigilant. You will be in very என்ன சொல்றது, அது தப்பாக தான் போய் முடியும். It will not go in a correct direction. So night எல்லாம் படிக்கிறது, I will sit and read till 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, so I need that tobacco. Don't do that. People will tell you in prelims, they will tell you this is how in prelims there was an IAS officer, அவர் வந்து அப்படி தான் packet வச்சுட்டு he used to read books. No, don't believe that. It's not true. All these myths in the subjects la myths madi, prelims la these kinds of myths are there. You cannot be very attentive if you do that. And because adaliyum benzene pollution irukku, that is the point, it's there. Varnish smell, you would have heard 1 2 4. See, again search this 1 2 4 varnish pathina theriyum, adula aroma smell irukum. So 1 2 4 only one option la irukku. So what is this polyurate theriyadu? I do not know whether wood burning, wood la there is C. Okay, Carbon is there, I know that, but whether I do not know that benzene is there or not. 1 to 4 it might be there. Answer is D. Actually, D is the answer. This is how you solve. Okay. And what is the global financial crisis? How it happens? Immunity to India. If global financial, what the problem of global financial crisis was? See, India was there, and everyone started to put their money into India. Idam point. Everyone started to put their money into India. When 2008 crisis happened, they started pulling back the money. This was the point. We could not do anything when they pulled back the money. So what should be done in order to prevent that? And if you see, opening up to more foreign banks, if you open more foreign banks, it will be easier for them to get the money back. So the point is that they invest money into you, and immediately when the crisis comes, they actually go back. So when you open more foreign banks, definitely the money would definitely go back. Maintaining full current account convertibility. Convertibility is convertibility of the currency. So when there is full convertibility, partial convertibility you have to get permission for converting and then taking back the money. So if full convertibility easily you can take away the money which you have invested. The foreigners did that only. So these two things will not come. 2 and 3 varadu. So remove all these things. So 1 is the answer. So A is the answer. Logic. See, simple Shankar Ganesh book would give you this. Do not complicate yourself with institute materials or somebody telling you about this material, that material. Use simple, logical books. Next question I will tell you. This is the last question. See, simple. The M1 calculation, M2 calculation, M3, so many calculations are there. எனக்கு அது என்றைக்குமே புரிஞ்சதில்லை. I have never even I never understood that. But I understand one thing. If you withdraw 1 lakh cash, you are withdrawing as cash from your demand deposit account. What is the aggregate money supply in the idu? Seriya? And you should know one fact. Demand deposit is actually equivalent to cash. Demand deposit na current account. You deposit in your bank in the current account. It is actually literally cash tha. They cannot take away the demand deposit. They have to give you the money. That is literally cash. So cash from the bank you are withdrawing is cash in the hand. So what is the money supply that is going to change? In calculating money supply, demand deposit is calculated, not only the money in your hand. So it actually leaves it unchanged now. So D is the answer. So this is how, see, the simple logic. So in this 25 questions, so if you see in this 25 question, you will find that nearly 11 questions were easy and 13 questions were logical. Some 2 questions were very difficult which I left. So see, again this pattern repeats. So this is what you have to find in order to solve these papers. And in the next video we will discuss more. But before leaving this video, I would like to tell that if you have not subscribed, please do subscribe to this and please do like it, so that for me to have some incentive to make such videos. There is nothing other than this subscription which is coming and the likes which are happening. So thank you.